section B asks us to write a letter. And I think the best way to think about this particular problem is to actually look at the questions that's being asked. So we're going to get 6 marks for written communication. Right? We're going to get 1 mark for identification of the correct section of the Australian Consumer Law and 1 mark for applying that section to this situation. So because it said that, I know that this is going to be a consumer law problem that I'm dealing with. Okay, so let's have a read. Ahmed Aaron loves shopping online and is always careful to read the description of the goods he's purchasing very carefully. On Thursday, he purchased a new Android tablet for his son for Christmas on a store called Computers Online. The tablet cost $650 and the website clearly indicated it would have 4G internet capability. When his son opened the box on Christmas Day, it was discovered that the tablet only had Wi-Fi internet connectivity. Computers Online is based at 23 O'Connell Street, Milton, 4064. Ahmed has asked you to write a letter on his behalf to Computers Online, in which you clearly express his complaint with reference to the relevant section of the Australian Consumer Law. Ahmed has advised his email address is here and his phone number is this and he lives here. Okay, so if we're going to write the letter, the first thing we actually have to do is identify which section of the ACL applies, right, of the Australian Consumer Law. And I will bring out my hair. Now, I do know off the top of my head which this one is, but in case I didn't, I'd be going to my handy-dandy hint sheet, right? Because it could be misleading or deceptive conduct, right? We could be thinking, is this about a person engaging in trade or commerce that's misleading or deceptive or likely to mislead or deceive? Well, they do advertise it as one thing and then another. So, and we could get damages. Okay, so it could be that. Is it unconscionable conduct? I don't think so, not within the traditional meaning of the word, right? This isn't about bargaining strength or our understanding of the document. It's about the ad was actually wrong. Is it a consumer guarantee? Well, is Ahmed a consumer? Well, yes, because remember, he's buying something that's under $40,000. Which is one of the definitions of consumer. So he is a consumer, so it could be a consumer guarantee. And the consumer guarantees are acceptable quality, right? Is it of acceptable quality? Well, it doesn't seem to be broken. We could argue about the internet capability, but it doesn't seem to be quality. Is it a fit for disclosed purpose problem? Well, he didn't actually tell the company Computers Online what he was going to use it for. So I don't think it's that. Look at this one. Correspond with description. Correspond with description. He was careful to read the description of the goods. Okay, the tablet cost $650 and the website clearly indicated it had 4G. So the website described it as having 4G capability, but it doesn't. Okay, so given we don't think there's anything else wrong with it and he hasn't disclosed a purpose, I think our best section here is section 56. Section 56 matches description. Okay, now what do you actually need to write in your paper, right? You just need the section 56. I'm just writing some words as a bit of a more explanation in my head. So, section 56. What does section 56 actually require, right? Section 56 says that goods purchased must correspond with description. Okay, so now I'm going to do some application. Because if I look at the particular question in the exam, it says I get 1 mark for identification of the section, which I've now picked up, and 1 mark for applying the section to this situation. So let me do this application. Okay, so in this case, now I'm going to take some facts here now, and I'm going to go Ahmed purchased a tablet that was, now this is really important, described. See, I'm using the words from the law that was described as having, what was it, 4G capability, but when it was delivered, it didn't have this capability. That is, the tablet did not correspond with description. Okay, so what I've really tried to highlight here is that there are some words used in the law, yeah, and I use those words back here. What I've also done is I've tried to use some facts from the case. So you can see in purple I'm saying, look, here are some facts from the case, and here are some words from the law, and they're mixed, and that shows I'm applying. That's one of the markers to show I'm applying the law to the particular case. Okay, now as well as that, we now have to actually write a letter setting out this particular problem, right? So we've been asked to write this letter, and we've all been provided those template letters in our materials. I'm going to start a new sheet here and think about how I actually write it. Now, we don't need to write it exactly the same way with exactly the same words, but we do need to have some structure. So the first thing I need are some formalities. So I'm going to start with the formalities about Ahmed, which is how letters are written. So we put who it's coming from, where they actually live. So they live at Shelmer, Queensland, 4068. And I'm going to put the email address so that they can email me if they want to contact me that way. And I'm going to put my phone number here too so that they can contact me that way. That means they can get back to me however they would actually like. So what I really have is I've put out the sender. Now I wouldn't put, what I'm going to do is highlight bits that I wouldn't put in my actual answer so that you can see what I'm doing. But here we've got the sender details. Okay. So my sender details are the first thing that I would actually write. The second thing then is I'd write who I'm addressing it to. So I leave a bit of a gap here. Then I'm sending it to the customer services manager at the store. So I've got the position I'm sending it to, the store I'm sending it to, and where I'm going to actually send the letter, 23 O'Connell Street, Milton, Queensland, 4064. Yep. So I would put that in as part of my formalities. So that's my sender, and that's my addressee details. All right. Some of the other things that you can put there is you often put the date around these, and often the date goes up. Sometimes it gets put up here in the top right. So I at some point would put the date. So I'm June 2017. I might, yeah, so I'd put the date. Okay. Then I'd put Dear Customer Services Manager. Or I could write Dear Sir, Dear Stroke Madam. Now, the first thing I want is a background paragraph about what the problem is. With that problem, it's good to put some details, particularly the date, what you bought, and the price if it's good, or the same things for services. So here we're saying on the 21st of November 2016, I bought an Android tablet for $650, which was described as having 4G capabilities. So that's kind of the background of what's actually happened here. Now we've got to outline as the second step the problem, right? On opening the tablet, my son discovered it did not have 4G capabilities. This was disappointing, as it happened on Christmas Day and was his present. Yep, so I'm trying to tug on the heartstrings here with what I'm saying. Now I'm going to insert the legal problem, right? The tablet did not match your description on the website. Yeah? So I've really got that problem in there, which means you have breached Section 56 of the Australian Consumer Law. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go over the page here, but we'll come back and do an analysis later. So my next thing that I'm going to write is what I would actually like to see happen. Yeah. So I would like you to refund my purchase price of $650 or replace the tablet with one that has 4G capabilities. The next thing that we want to do is say, well, what are we going to do if that doesn't happen? I hope we can negotiate a mutually agreeable solution. So what I'm saying is I hope we can work this out between us, but if I don't hear from you in 10 days is normally a good time, 2 2 weeks, 2 working days, 10 days, I will contact the regulator, right, the Office of Fair Trading. And then I can put how I want them to contact me, right? Given I've only given them 10 days, I am going to say, please contact me via email or phone with your response. So that gives them a quick way to contact me. Yours sincerely, Ahmed Aaron. Okay. So why don't we have a look at what we've actually structured into this particular problem. First thing you'll notice is we've got this one which provides us with the background to the actual issue. This particular paragraph here is a real kicker, right? That one outlines what the problem is, and it takes the law that we've already identified and applies it to our particular problem. In this third paragraph, we decide and outline what our potential solution is, what we would like to happen. Then, in the following paragraph, we set out what's going to happen. So we warn them about what's going to happen if they don't do it, before we then established how they can go about contacting us to solve the problem. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a sense of how to put together one of these letters based upon what's required under examination conditions. If you have that overarching structure and those details in it that come from the actual case, we should have no problems doing quite well in that part of the assessment, I would hope.